Water is essential for life, but your hydration habits might be doing more harm than good. Today, we'll explore 10 surprising ways your hydration routine could be impacting your health. From cellular balance to mental clarity, what you learn might change how you think about drinking water.
The second most vital element needed for life. So the number one vital element needed for life is oxygen. And that's not a surprise, is it? The second most vital element needed for life is water. You can go 3 minutes without oxygen. You can go a couple of weeks without water. I always thought it was 3 days without water until I read a book called The Long Walk about some people who were escaping the Siberian work camp, and they were in the desert and they went nearly 2 weeks without water.
The second most vital element for life. As we've just heard, water is crucial for life, second only to oxygen. But here's where things get interesting and potentially dangerous if we're not careful. While we often focus on just drinking enough water, there's a hidden interplay happening in our bodies that many of us overlook. It's not just about the quantity of water, but how our bodies manage it. This brings us to our next point, the delicate balance of sodium and potassium in our cells. You might be thinking, wait, aren't we supposed to avoid sodium? Well, that's where conventional wisdom might be steering us wrong. Let's take a closer look at how these elements work together and why getting this balance right could be the key to truly effective hydration.
The fourth most vital element needed for life is potassium. So let's go back to sodium. In nature, we find the highest amount of sodium in seawater, and seawater contains 92 minerals. Of those 92 minerals, 30%, approximately 30% is sodium, and of those 92 minerals, approximately 50% is chloride. Now, because sodium chloride take up the most amount, they're the first crystals formed when the water is evaporated. So what man does is he scoops up the first crystals formed, he bleaches them white, puts aluminium with it so that it runs freely, and there's your table salt. Table salt is a dangerous salt because we now have two very harsh minerals that if you were to inject both of those into the blood, you would die. There's two harsh minerals and they need all the other 90 to soften them and balance them. The highest concentration of mineral inside the cell is potassium. The highest concentration outside the cell is sodium. And in this bilayered membrane that is around every cell, there are sodium-potassium pumps. And these sodium-potassium pumps are ever going like this.
The crucial sodium-potassium balance in cells. We've seen how crucial the sodium-potassium balance is for our cells. But here's the twist. The table salt most of us use might be doing more harm than good. It's stripped of essential minerals, potentially disrupting this delicate balance. But nature has a surprising solution, and it comes from an unexpected source. Let's explore an alternative that could change how you think about salt and hydration.
What about Himalayan salt? In many places, Himalayan salt is a lot easier to get. There's about 75 minerals. So it's pretty good. But I prefer the Celtic salt. And one reason is that the Celtic salt has 3 magnesiums. It contains magnesium chloride and magnesium bromide and magnesium sulfate. Magnesium is a water-hungry molecule, and this explains why the Celtic salt is such a moist salt, especially when we've had a lot of rain, because those 3 magnesiums absorb the moisture. And because magnesium is a water-hungry molecule, it can be used to help the water get into the cell. So when you take a crystal of Celtic salt, put it on your tongue, and some say, how big's a crystal? Well, if you've got high blood pressure, start small, about the size of a sesame seed. I don't have high blood pressure, so I might have about 3 times little sesame seeds. Put it on your tongue, your mucous membranes start absorbing the minerals, the magnesium is taken.
Celtic Salt, a mineral-rich hydration booster. Mineral-rich salts like Celtic Salt can significantly boost proper hydration. It's a powerful tool for maintaining cellular health. But there's more to the hydration story that might surprise you. Popular wisdom often pushes the idea of drinking more water. However, the amount isn't the only factor to consider. How you consume water can be just as crucial as how much you drink. In fact, gulping down large quantities of water at once may lead to unexpected health issues. Let's delve into why moderation and timing are key, and how overzealous water consumption could potentially undermine your well-being.
And that magnesium pulls that water inside the cell. It's the quickest way to hydrate a body. The only time excess water drinking can be dangerous is if people drink too much at once and don't have the minerals that are in the Celtic salt to pull that water inside the cell. I've had people complain to me, they say, I'm drinking more water now and now I'm going to the bathroom all day. So I say, are you having the salt? Have a little crystal before every glass of water. And ideally we should be having approximately 8 glasses of water a day. And then I say to them, and don't drink a whole glass at once. I think I mentioned earlier, I drink half a glass as soon as I get up. I go to the bathroom, I drink another half glass. Then I get dressed and have another half glass. But when I start every glass, I have that little bit of salt. So you spread the water over the day. And many people have said to me, thank you so much, that has made a big difference. See, huge water in, it's not long before huge water has to come out.
The hidden dangers of excessive water intake. Excessive water intake can disrupt your body's delicate balance, potentially leading to serious health issues. This revelation challenges the common drink more water mantra. But don't worry, there's a smarter way to stay hydrated. The key lies in how you distribute your water intake throughout the day. Nature provides a perfect model for this approach. Just as gentle rain nourishes the earth more effectively than a sudden downpour, your body benefits from a steady supply of water. A hydration strategy that works in harmony with your body's natural processes, ensuring optimal absorption and minimizing potential risks.
It's like watering a plant. And look how God sends the rain, little by little by little. And when there's a tornado, when there's a torrential downpour, that's when the soil gets washed away and flooding can happen. So remember that with your body. Take it little by little by little by little. It is the best way to take it. Lining our gastrointestinal tract are villi. And on the villi is a receptor site, and that receptor site is to take the glucose through and into the blood. So on this villi we've got a blood capillaries that go all the way through. Now in that receptor site is a carrier, and this carrier is designed to take the glucose through to the blood. But the carrier will not accept the glucose unless it comes with a molecule of sodium. I read this in my anatomy and physiology book. In the anatomy and physiology book, I memorized the sentence so I could give it to you from the horse's mouth. Sodium is the main transport system of glucose across the brush border wall and into the blood. And yet what are we told? Don't eat salt. Well, I agree with the table salt.
Hydration strategy, sipping throughout the day. Spreading water intake. Throughout the day optimizes absorption and reduces overhydration risks. But timing isn't the only factor in effective hydration. Your body's water utilization also depends on minerals and even how you breathe. These elements work together in surprising ways. An unexpected technique combining water, salt, and breathing that could revolutionize your hydration efficiency and energy levels.
And you have the glass of water, or half a glass, a little bit later the other half glass. That magnesium pulls the water inside the cell. And in the bilaid membrane that is around every cell, there's a little motor. And when the water's pulled through the membrane and into the cell, it causes that little motor to start spinning. And the spinning of that motor gives us a unit of energy. So when you're feeling a little tired or maybe a little bit peckish mid-morning, have the salt and have the water and you'll get a little bit of a pickup. So when everyone's going outside to have their cigarette or their cup of coffee, you have your crystal of salt, your glass of water. Absolutely, if you're working in an office, go outside and find a tree. Remember what the trees are giving off? Life-giving oxygen. Breathe deeply from your abdominal muscle, and that blast of oxygen, remember what the oxygen does at the cellular level? Oxygen will give you 18 times more energy. We've looked at the inside of the workings of the cell a few times.
The saltwater breathing technique for better hydration. The saltwater breathing technique enhances hydration and energy levels, but hydration affects your body beyond just energy. Your hydration status influences health in unexpected ways. A surprising connection exists with your cardiovascular system. Dehydration can silently impact your blood pressure. Proper hydration is crucial for heart health.
So the cell, and understanding the workings of the cell, is paramount to understanding how these things affect the body. We have a book in our library, and I know we have it in the library here. It's by an Iranian doctor called Dr. Batman Geheldij. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's called One of the Body's Many Cries for Water. The second title to his book is He's Not Sick, He's Thirsty. The third title to his book is Don't Treat Thirst with Medications. His story is fascinating. I think it was in about the 70s or 80s. He was a political prisoner. And because he was a doctor, everyone came to him when they had problems. And all he had was water. So no matter what the problem was, he'd get them to drink a glass of water. He'd come and see them 15 minutes, he'd give them another glass of water. So usually in half an hour, they had 3 glasses of water. And he was just shocked at how the headaches are gone, the migraines have eased, the stomach ulcer pain had relieved.
Dehydration's surprising link to high blood pressure. Dehydration's impact on blood pressure highlights the far-reaching effects of proper hydration. But hydration isn't just about how much water you drink. It's also about when you drink it. Timing your water intake can significantly affect your digestive system. Many people unknowingly disrupt their digestion through improper hydration habits. A real-life case study demonstrates how adjusting water consumption timing resolved a 25-year-long stomach problem. This example underscores the profound influence of hydration practices on overall health.
Between meals, and I was drinking almost a whole litre of water with every meal. So I want to show you what was happening in his gut. So what was happening in his gut, he's drinking nothing between meals, which means the lining to his gut is very thin, which means the hydrochloric acid is breaking down the tissues. And remember, the bacteria is an opportunist organism. And so what happened is the body started to, its own microorganisms changed role and came to the cleanup team, remember the garbage collectors, and they started to clean up the dead tissue, and their name was called Helicobacter pylori. See why you have to ask why are they there? No wonder they find Helicobacter pylori in every case of stomach ulcer. They're there to clean up the mess. Now, as God would have it, when we smell food and we start to chew food, hydrochloric acid, here's hydrochloric acid is released. And hydrochloric acid connects with pepsinogen to release pepsin, which breaks down protein, but hydrochloric acid does something else. It's antifungal, antibacterial. And so it has the ability to wipe out these guys. And just as hydraulic acid is considering going down and wiping these guys out, he has a big glass of water. And what does water do to hydrochloric acid? It just dilutes it. So Helicobacter pylori is chomping away at the dead tissue, and it goes, whew, that was close. Chomp, chomp, chomp. What this man discovered is that he was drinking water at the wrong time. Do you remember I said to you earlier, I said, how much water do you drink a day? And he said 2 litres. And because he was a little bit abrasive with all his answers, I decided not to push it anymore. So now he drank early in the morning. He stopped drinking half an hour before his meal. That half an hour before the meal immediately thickened that mucosa wall. The water he had the day before fed the hydrochloric acid that's made in the liver. So let's have a look at what's happening now. Now being at the health retreat, he's drinking water at the right time between meals. His mucosa wall is getting thick. And then when he eats his meal...
A 25-year stomach problem solved by proper water timing. The case study of resolved digestive issues through proper water timing illustrates hydration's impact on gut health. However, hydration's effects extend beyond the digestive system. Proper hydration plays a crucial role in respiratory function. Many people overlook the connection between water intake and lung health. Dehydration can significantly affect your lungs' ability to function optimally. Understanding this link reveals yet another unexpected way hydration influences overall health and well-being.
And because of the surface tension of water, when you breathe out, that little alveoli collapses, which allows all the carbon dioxide, the majority of it, to be breathed out, so that now when you breathe in, you can breathe in more oxygen. In a state of dehydration, that little droplet of water is not as it should be, which means that doesn't totally collapse when you breathe out, which means you can't get your full quota of oxygen. But what also happens, the body, to prevent the water loss, it can start constricting the little bronchioles so that we don't lose water. And so one of the signs of dehydration can be constricted breathing. The blood gets very thick in dehydration. Our blood needs to be nice and thin so the heart can pump it easily, so that the little filtering units in our kidneys can filter it with ease. So water is needed for every single body function. I'm going to give you a story of a man that came to our retreat who had 3 main problems. He had chronic headaches, which he took a lot of painkillers for.
How hydration affects your lung function. Hydration's impact on lung function demonstrates its importance for physical health, but the effects of proper hydration go beyond just the body. Chronic dehydration can influence mental health and cognitive function. This connection is often overlooked in discussions about brain health. The link between hydration and mental well-being reveals how seemingly simple lifestyle factors can have profound effects on our minds. Proper hydration may play a larger role in mental health than previously thought.
Also, causing dehydration because of the drinks that they are having. Again, we need to drink little by little by little. Much depends on your activity through the day. If you're working out in the garden and perspiring a lot, if you're having steam baths a lot, then definitely you need to drink more water. One of the signs that you're drinking adequate water is that your urine is clear. So when your urine is clear, that's a fairly good sign that you're drinking enough water. Now at the moment here at the retreat, you're having B vitamins. and those B vitamins have an effect on your body to cause your urine to be fluorescent yellow. So don't be surprised if this week your urine is fluorescent yellow. So you just got to find out how to get it in. And many people in aged care facilities, elderly people, they do not drink enough water. And it certainly is a contributing factor to the mental illness and the deterioration in brains we're seeing. In Australia, there are 1,700 cases of Alzheimer's being diagnosed every week. Now, that's a bit scary.
The unexpected connection between hydration and mental health. The journey through hydration's unexpected effects on our health reveals its far-reaching impact. From cellular balance to mental well-being, proper hydration influences nearly every aspect of our bodies. Common hydration habits may inadvertently harm our health. Drinking too much water at once, neglecting mineral balance, or ignoring timing can all lead to issues. Optimal hydration involves more than just drinking water. It requires understanding our body's needs, timing our intake, and ensuring proper mineral balance. By adopting mindful hydration practices, we can potentially improve digestion, heart health, lung function, and even mental clarity. This knowledge empowers us to use hydration as a powerful tool for overall well-being. Remember, small changes in how you hydrate can lead to significant improvements in your health. Stay informed, stay hydrated, and stay healthy.